it will be a great error for the APC at the national not to give the governor the privilege of involving in a fairly contested primary elections.
Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to my podcast. Today, I have a very special guest in the building. Today, I have on the show an activist, a public policy strategist, a security consultant, and a governance advocate with a solid track record in youth mobilization, political organizing, and public service. Long before studying into the world of law enforcement, he was already neck deep in grassroots politics, playing key roles in party youth structures, driving strategic campaigns, and shaping the political mindset of young progressives in Ekiti State and beyond. He would later go to serve with distinction in the federal law enforcement agency, where he focused on operations, intelligence, and protocol. Academically, he holds a master's degree in security and intelligence studies, along with postgraduate diploma in criminology and security studies and journalism. He's a proud member of several reputable institutions and bodies, including the NUJ, the NIPR, the NIM, and IACP, which is the International Association of Chiefs of Police. He's an educator at that. He has taught journalism at the International Institute of Journalism, Abuja, the Ekiti State chapter, and has facilitated several training on politics, leadership, governance, and security, engaging youth groups, political aspirants, and civil organizations across the country. My guest today is an author. His books, Understanding Crime and You Are Under Arrest, have added meaningful contributions to the field of criminology and civic awareness. His upcoming project, Omoluabi, is a civic guideline or guidebook specially written for Nigerian children. He also convenes a brand new movement, which is called the New Broom Movement, a platform focused on civic reawakening and grooming of a new generation of competent, ethical, and people-centered leaders in Nigerian politics. Ladies and gentlemen, today on Femi Oguntayo Unfiltered, I have the honor to welcome on the show Mr. Adeolu Oyebode.
Welcome on the show, Ebon. I'm really grateful to have you here with me on Femi Oguntayo Unfiltered. It is a great honor to have you on this episode, and I believe we're going to have a great conversation today.
Thank you very much, Femi, for inviting me on your podcast. And like you said it's unfiltered. So I expect you to ask me questions that will not be filtered as well, so that we can have an unfiltered conversation.
Definitely. Yeah, but just like I always do on my podcast, I always like us to start on a very light note. As we progress, I'm sure the hard and tough questions will come. So I'm sure you're ready for that.
It's all right. Thank you.
So, definitely. So, generally, I just wanted to know, like, how you doing? It's been a while since both of us even spoke. So what's going on? How are you doing generally?
Yeah, fine. I'm back to political mobilization now. When I left the service when I left the public service, I came abroad for my master's program, and I'm done. I've come up with one or two institutes for Institute of Strategic Governance and Innovations, and currently working with some younger elements within the APC under the New Broom Movement to see how we can bring new persons into the party, and not only bringing them into the party, training them on the proper ideology of the party, and also ensuring that we have more professionals being involved in politics. So, and I'm more concerned about digitally inclined young persons in Ekiti State. I've been involved in getting a very good numbers of them coming on board now to be a member of the APC. This is a party I know very well, and also apart from bringing them into the party, I'm also very, very interested in ensuring that the minority bloc of the populace, I mean, the women, the young people, the faith-based groups, are all also involved in active political participation now, so that we can prepare for a values-driven succession plan. It's a generation, and every generation have two mandates. It's either you fulfill your generation or you betray it. So I'm working majorly on rallying everyone across the world from Ekiti to see how we can prepare for the next generation of political leadership in the state. And it's been very, very interesting. I've been enjoying it, and got large numbers of following now. So it's been very fine.
Well, I mean, interesting. I mean, actually, I still wanted to ask you like some questions that are still light, but now that you mentioned about some of the works you've been doing, I know there is this new movement that you started. Did you just start it, or it's been there all this while? The new Broom Movement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I started last month. We're in July now, I think. Okay. Yeah, I started in June.
Okay, so it's pretty new.
Yeah, pretty new. I started in June, and like I said, I'm more concerned about having the new set of young people coming into politics and professionals in politics. As a member of the APC, we are all brooms. Whether you are old or young, if you are in the APC, we are all brooms. And like we say, the APC is the party of the brooms. So the humans there are the brooms. So, and the idea of the new broom is that if you've got old brooms at home, there's need for you to buy new brooms. So you need to get new brooms in, and the place of experience is important. That's where the old brooms come to play, or you need the new brooms because the new brooms will sweep better. When you got brooms at home for a very long time, it gets hard. It gets very hard, and you use them to clean very difficult debts, especially those ones outside, the one in front of your front yard. But you see, the new ones are the ones you use for your bedroom, if you understand what I mean.
Sure.
So that's where the idea of the new broom comes in. And APC was formed about 2014, and it came from the Action Congress of 2006, 2007, thereabout. So we've got from 2006 or 2007 till now, that's about 2007 till now is about
that's like
18 years now. About 18 years.
Yeah.
So we've got very old members, 18 years old members there.
Sure.
And even if you say APC from 2015, that's about 10 years. So it's important for us to review our strategy. Now we've got more technology inclined, we've got more politically active persons on social media who are not involved in party politics at polling unit and ward level. So, and these are the people I'm mobilizing to the party, and we have targeted about 20,000 people. We've got good thousands of numbers, I can tell you. And we are developing a very strong database using technology. We've got a website you can check online, www.thenewbroom.org.ng. We've got a phone application as well. And we've got structures across the local government. We've got committee leadership on self building. We've got committee on welfare retention and support. We've got on We've got on so many committees, and we also do conversations on values and political values and proper ideology-driven movement within the APC. So it's all for the interest of the party, and the people of Ekiti State. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I mean, do you really think Ekiti State has gotten to that level where we have a technology-driven kind of politics or movements like yours? Do you really think the people are ready for that, or is that why you have this movement?
Femi, there is this disconnect between the old and the young. And that is what that's the problem that the new Broom is addressing. Okay.
Okay.
The first state in Nigeria, I stand to be corrected, where every child will have a laptop on their table in Ekiti. And that was far back at 2010.
Yeah.
15 years ago. Okay.
I think I remember that.
So, yeah, the only state in Nigeria as of now where we have a knowledge zone that we are building an innovative strategy to integrate the young people to tap into the knowledge economy, the tech economy is Ekiti. But now we have a long way to go, no doubt. So if Ekiti people are that exposed to technologies, there is no reason for us not to lead by example in bringing technologies to party politics. Okay. And if you look at the last presidential election, Obi, through the Obedient Movement, did not have a polling unit structure. They had a mass movement structure. And the Twitter and Facebook of this world were able to give Obi about 6.1 million votes. So, and it was able to achieve that through technology. Wow. Some people voted for obedience for former Governor Peter Obi, the candidate of the Labour Party, just because of their engagement on Twitter and Facebook. These people.
Sorry to comment. These people, now you're talking about Obi, these people that the votes that Obi got in the last election came from places that are really advanced when it comes to, technology. Like, because if you look at Ekiti State, I'm not sure he had 100 votes in Ekiti State, but he had FCT,
Femi, no, don't say that it's that too complicated. The mass mobilization for the Obedient Movement was on Twitter and Facebook.
Definitely.
People on Twitter and Facebook. We are on Twitter and Facebook. We are on Twitter and Facebook. He had good voting. And not only that, all the Occupy Nigeria, the mass movement that we've been having, NSAS and all of these things were coordinated on Twitter and Facebook. Ekiti people participated. The political consciousness of Ekiti people is high on Twitter and Facebook. Go and check WhatsApp groups and Facebook. So what we need to do is to provide that structure that will bring these people to be involved in party politics and not social media politics. We need to connect them to the wards and the polling unit. So saying that is Ekiti technologically savvy or ready for that, it's an insult.
Well,
and I can tell you that because we have registered thousands of people, over 1,000 people within the last 1 month to the new Broom Movement through the website and at Google Forms platforms and WhatsApp platforms.
I'm also a very strong advocate for a technology-driven Ekiti State. But the question I'm asking here is not really about whether the youth of Ekiti State are technology savvy or not. I'm more concerned about the politics in Ekiti State.
Our movement is using technology and data to drive our process.
Okay.
I know that you cannot achieve anything without data. You cannot achieve anything without technology in this generation, in my own generation. So the language of my generation is technology and data.
Definitely.
Big data analytics. And that is what we are deploying to enhance and improve our party politics, the APC politics in Ekiti State.
So, we're looking forward to that. And we're looking forward
we
to...
Are already doing that.
Movement growing.
We are already doing that. We are already doing that. I just told you that in less than a month now, we've registered over 1,000 people through technology, and we have been engaging with them. With technology. So we have started and we are working. And in the next couple of months, we'll be able to come up with short-term results that we got with the new Broom Movement. Just relax.
Okay. We're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to more influence from the movement and more development from the movement. So you're in the UK now, I believe, and you've been out of the country for a while now. I'm sure you miss one or two things when it comes to Nigerian politics, the Nigerian life, and maybe your service even in government or the civil service. What would you say was like, or let me start with what you miss first when it comes to Nigerian life, the politics in Nigeria. I mean, having experienced life in the Western world now, what do you miss about Nigerian life, the politics, the civil service life, and just generally Nigeria?
So, Femi, let me first say that though I've been in the UK, but I'm always in Nigeria. I come short between Nigeria and the UK.
Okay.
I've not come to the UK with the intent to what some people will say to japa.
Okay.
No, I've come to the UK to learn the UK for Nigeria. And I believe that one of the reasons why I've traveled to the UK, because you were specific about the UK, is to find out what works there that is not working in Nigeria that we can do.
So what are your discoveries?
And I've discovered a lot. I've shared some with my governor, and he's been implementing them. The ones that he's implementing, probably will implement them in the second term. And not only the UK, I've been to other countries in Europe and in America, the Americas, the South. And I've seen some things that I'm sure that will be of benefit to the people of Ekiti. So I've not come here with the impression of, no, I have not missed anything. Then, to be sincere with you, I have not missed anything in Nigeria. I use my Nigerian line. I eat Nigerian food here.
Sure.
I bring in. I eat African food here. Though there's a blend of culture. Definitely where you are, you also have to integrate with the culture. But I've not missed anything in Nigeria because I talk to Nigerian people. I go to Nigeria, like I said, I go like every time I want to go. It's just about 6 hours flight there, so it's not. It's not that I'm not longer around. I've missed some things anyway, like you said, the public service. I missed though because I enjoyed, I enjoy anything I do. I give my best to everything I do.
Sure.
Life is in phases. So when you're done with a chapter, you close it, you start writing another chapter. So I'm done.
Move on to the next one.
I'm done with my work. I've left the service. I gave my best that I could when I was there. And I still give my own advisory on how I think we can improve the system, especially the security sector reform. I did the little I could do when I was there. I commissioned the development of an emergency phone app then called Ekiti Alert. I was involved in a lot of policy advisory for government, for state. I was involved in operations. I was involved in intelligence building. I was involved in lobbying and liaising. So I gave my best then. And the little I can find here, what I can see here that can improve the system, I still send down in my own little way. So, and if you are a Nigerian that you are accessible to your people, and it's not everybody is accessible to their people. It's not everybody. So if you're accessible to your people, I can tell you that you've not missed Nigeria. And I'm always I'm active on WhatsApp groups, and my Facebook Messenger is open, my Twitter is open, my LinkedIn is open, my Instagram is open. So I've not shut. I cannot shut the door on my country. I did not pack Nigeria's sand when I was going.
Sure, definitely.
So
definitely. I mean, I'm just asking that because I know when people leave for like another country or another environment, there's this cultural shock that you get when you leave and you go, at least even if you go there to study or you just go there to just for conferences and all that, there are some things that you just see and you feel like, oh, we're not doing this back in Nigeria or back where I come from. So that's why I was asking that. And I just wanted to know, like, are there some cultural shocks that you experience when you, let's say, first move to the UK to study or just to do any
like I said, my intention of coming to the UK is very clear. So I have eyes for details on the things that are not working in Nigeria that are working here, why they are working here, and how we can domesticate it in Nigeria. That's what I've come here to.
Yeah.
So of course, it cuts across policies, it cuts across politics, policy, politics, and process.
Yeah.
So my findings are being documented.
Yeah.
For implementation at the right time. The ones that can be implemented now has been shared with the government, and those who can implement them as an advisory.
So I would like to ask, this is Femi Unfiltered. So can you share with us some of those policies that you've noticed or that you've documented that you feel Ekiti State, for example, can benefit from? Definitely you're from Ekiti State, so I'm sure whatever you are documenting, whatever you are planning is definitely going to be stuff that would benefit a state like Ekiti. So what are those stuff or policies that you've shared with the governor, for example, or maybe some of your friends in government, for example, that you would like to tell us here, so that at least we can owe them for it? This is someone is telling you things like this. Are you working on them? You also mentioned that the governor has worked or is working on some of those things that you've shared with him. Can you share some of those things with us here on this podcast?
Well, let me
just borrow your time for just a few seconds. This is a new channel, and would appreciate you clicking like on this video. That way YouTube gets to recommend it to more people. And also, if you're a new member just watching this channel and you've not subscribed yet, or if you've been watching this channel and you've not subscribed yet, kindly click on the subscribe button below now and subscribe, and also click on the bell button beside it to turn on the notification button, so that when next we drop a video like this, you'll be the first to know. Back to the video now. Thank you.
Well, let me just mention one of the many things that the governor has worked on.
Okay.
He's worked on so many things, and one of them is the need for us to maximize the potentials of our diasporans.
Okay.
Because the diaspora remittances in the last 1 year is over, I think, about $4 billion was remitted from diaspora to Nigeria. So and so the governor and his team, they are actually working seriously on some of the recommendations as to how we can coordinate the resources, the funds from diaspora to the state that will support in economic development, supporting job creation, supporting infrastructure building for the state. I might not be able to go into details of some of these policies because that will take a lot of time. And
we have to.
No, so I just want to. The governor is working on so many things, and then when you start seeing the result, I don't want to take credit for whatever the governor has plans to do before. I could have, it could have been his plans. Probably I just reminded him, So, and when you start arrogating to yourself that I said this, I did this, it becomes pride for me. I'm a leader without title, and I'm more concerned about development of Ekiti State, supporting the governor, supporting the government to see that his own programs are also implemented, rather than taking credit for what I've seen here or what I'm writing down. So yeah, I'm not that kind of person. If you know me very well, I'm not that kind of person who is more concerned about praises.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get results done. And another thing that I've also noticed here is the ownership of political parties.
Okay.
People pay money to be members of their political party. They pay subscriptions like monthly dues. I know in the US where you also pay money every month.
Yeah, I'm sure some. I don't belong to any political party here, so
okay, that's fine.
I don't want to involve myself in their politics for now.
That's all right then. So these are the things. These are the take homes. So if you are running a political party, you have to pay subscription. You have to be a member of the party with your funding, not just by, and you have to be involved too in building the process. And accountability is very important. Some days ago, I had to ask the local government chairman of my local government some questions. I've sent my lawyer to ask him questions about the gate project he did, the ultramodern gate project he did. Some had said he spent about 20, some say 15 million or whatever. So I've asked to request for questions as to getting answers from them. So there are a lot of things to take home. They are all put down, and at the right time, I'm sure Mr. Governor is working on it. And also these are some of them are part of the 30-year master plan of the state. We have a 30-year master plan in the States, and as somebody who is an insider of that plan, who is also trying to see that we are able to fulfill all these plans, work with government to see that these plans become achievable, then I need to also go out. I need to find out how we can achieve these things in the best interest of Ekiti people. So that's So I would like to pass further on this question about what I've seen, that the things that I've seen here have been communicated with the appropriate quarters for implementation.
Okay, definitely. We'll let you pass on that.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, guys, I know you don't always like to blow your own trumpet a lot, but I just wanted us to just talk a little bit about it. But yeah, so I mean, you are also an activist, like everyone who kind of knows you for that. Back then when you were in the University of Adeolu Ekiti. I mean, your nickname Luther Africa, I guess you got it when you were in UNAD, I guess, if I'm correct. So, I mean, having been an activist, a student leader back in those days, what would you say? How would you say that has transformed the kind of person you are, or the kind of person that you have become? And how do you think that can also be transferred to the young people of this era? Because I don't think we have this kind of zeal that I know people like you used to have then, back in those days. I could remember I attended one of the protests or rallies that you conveyed back then. Because I remembered, I think I entered EXU when you were leaving, so there was this, what, did I even meet you in EXU? I think you already left. It was Omgo but yeah, I know back when you were in UNAD, you had this very strong influence on the protests, the looters, and all those things. So how would you say that shaped your personality, and what do you think this new generation of young people, especially students of Ekiti State universities and stuff, can learn from those era?
Femi, thank you very much. You see, that we have different answers to different questions per time. So in my own time, the language that was applicable was more of confrontation. The leaders at this time, I feel that they don't want to confront. They want to consult or consolidate. It is their choice. The part I took, not everyone might be comfortable to take that part. I spent 8 years in the university for a 4-year course. Between 2004 to 2012, I was in the university. And it was a tough time for me. For those who knew me, I was very, very involved. I was very vocal.
Sure.
I've always been an activist. Even before I joined the university, I was involved in community activism. In my village where I came from, I, alongside other persons, including the current House of Assembly member representing my state constituency now, we led protests before I even joined university to have transformer in my community. This is the transformer they still use till now. I'm talking of far back as 2003.
Wow.
This is the transformer is still in my community. That's 22 years ago. It has not been changed. They've only been changing the armor cable. So I've always been an activist because of the family background I have. Okay. So when I left university, people felt that because I was an activist on campus, it has ended there. Most people still refer to my activism in the university. When I left university, I still remained an activist, even when I was in government. As a matter of fact, when the Federation of the State Student Union protested against our government, I joined them to protest. You can ask the leadership then. We protested together. I got their charter of demand. I told them, go and write me a charter of demand. You have not protested, there's no charter of demand. What do you want? And every of their demands were met before we left office. I could only do that because I had an activist background.
Sure.
All the student unions that were proscribed before I got to office were reinstated. You can confirm that. Before I was appointed special assistant to the governor, bursary then was 5,000 naira. It was increased to 10,000 by the governor that I served, my principal.
I remember that.
There was a recommendation that we should increase the bursary. We increased the scholarship as well. And we paid a very large number of students. I'm talking about almost 9,000 people were paid.
Yeah.
And we commenced the process of paying the second one before we left office. I'm not sure now if we pay the second tranche. I mean, after the first one, we wanted to pay another one. I'm not sure if we paid now because I don't want to speak out of fact. But I knew we paid about 9,000 people bursary then, among other things. We took students to a book festival and all of that because of my activism background. When we left office, I was also a member of the Socialist Youth League, which was like a bigger platform than student movement. So I was also a youth activist, resisting policies that are anti-masses. I was part of those who organized the anti-subsidy removal as at that time.
Yeah.
Based on the available information I had, that it was going to cause, It was going to cause hardship on the people.
Yep.
And that the fear I had then, why I joined the protest, where I was involved in leading the protest, I spoke on behalf of the youth of Ekiti State at that time, not as a student, but as a youth leader of the Socialist Youth League, that we don't trust the removal process. If it is being removed, if it was removed, then how are we sure that the money will not be squandered? Because
Definitely.
we know that from economic indices, if we remove subsidy from something, people will have to pay for the removed subsidies.
Sure.
Fuel or oil or crude oil had a ripple effect on the economy. Okay. So that was why I was involved in removal of subsidy protests. Some governors, for instance, the governor of my state then, Fayemi, did not want I don't think he was fully support of subsidy removal.
I think
he was support of
pro anti.
No, it was pro subsidy removal.
Oh, okay.
It was pro subsidy removal. I'm not sure, but his body language then was not. I was not in government then. It was not fully. He was talking about we should remove the subsidy. He was technically in support of the subsidy removal, kind of.
Yeah.
But some of us felt that no.
And
when he made that statement again, some months ago, that we knew what you were doing was right, people were attacking him. But this was what he has always stood for. He has always been saying that the subsidy should be removed so that the state can have more money. And but he was also advocating for the removal should be in phases, and people should, when the removal is in phases, there must be cushion effect so that people will not feel the pains we are facing now. I'm not making a case for him, actually, but I was just saying that we had conflict of ideas then as an activist. He's a person I respected so much. As an activist, I challenged the activist governor's views as an activist. So it was not just as student union leader. I've been an activist all along. When when the APC was to be formed, I wrote a press statement you can find online stating that the leadership of the APC should involve young people into the process of the party formation, and not assume what we're doing. It was still political activism. I've been involved in activism all along. Now, just last week or thereabout, I'm a member of the APC, and I've also written to the chairman of the APC that we're going to court if he's not providing me details about the contract process of the local government gate that he did in my local government, because I felt that a gate should not be state. The gate should not be widely published. So this is activism. So when you ask that, how has my role been able to influence people? I am not. I don't do things alone. I have people I build. I have people look up to me for leadership, for direction, both in student unionism, in political activism, and social activism. I build generals. I call them my generals. They are everywhere across the states and across the country. And so they also have followers that they also develop. So there's a chain of command. People, they are still activists. The current Southwest coordinator of NANS is, with due respect to him, is one of the boys of my voice, and he's doing fantastic in activism. He's been asking questions from National Assembly members, what they've done is activism. When you criticize leaders, some part of what they believe that we are being rude or that, but he's asking silent questions within the party. He's a member of the party. You understand? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't want to say it's a member. He's a pro, he's a lover of the party. Because
Okay.
some of his sentiments are teachers of the party, but he's still challenging, asking questions. So schools had been shut down. The young man had been everywhere saying that no. And it gives records to say that, leader, this is what you taught us. Even at times when I try to intervene, they refer to Luther when you were on campus, you will not take this. So
Sure.
I've been able to build a lot of young persons who are also involved in activism, and they are doing fantastic. I can tell you that I'm not the last of my kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But some of my people, some of my mentees are in the churches, they are pastors, and their teachings. If you listen to their teachings, they are activists. They have activist tone. They have activist undertones in their sermons. They preach, and you can find that. So I'm not the last of my kind. I don't want to take that credit that I'm the last of my kind. I'm not.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people, both here, both in Nigeria and abroad, who have continued the passion, the movement struggle for a just society, the struggle for emancipation of the people.
Yeah.
And as I'm still supporting them. Even when I was in the service, I might not be a frontal, I might not be very difficult in activism, but I was still standing for the oppressed. I will still protect the interests of the arrested, and if I see they're not justly arrested, I still try to get them out. Now, I wrote books about.
I'm sure it's going to be in the blood. So
I wrote books when I was in service. I wrote "You Are Under Arrest," and I discussed the legality and reality of exercise of authorities and rights. And I educate people about their rights as a citizen. Versus what the law says in enforcement of law. So I've always been an activist, and I'm proud to be one. I won't, if I have opportunity of coming back again to this world, I'll be an activist. It's a very sweet thing.
Definitely. I mean,
it's a passion, and it's a calling on its own. And when you have it, when you don't stand against injustice, you enjoy it. It's very sweet. You can't understand it if you're not one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always in the blood. I know that, and those are some of the reasons why you are someone that I respect a lot. I mean, even after I got to EXU, we see here about some of the things you did, and some of your colleagues like Gandhi and the likes. Yeah, what you guys did while you were in EXU. So yeah, I know it's always in you, and just like you said, many of the things you said, I can testify to them. So yeah. I would say well done for everything you've been doing, and I believe you will never stop doing that. I mean, you are some of the people I always wish we have as representative of the youth, of the young people in government. That was why when you were appointed during Fayemi's era, I was really happy that you were part of the government, and we saw some of the things that you were able to influence there. And talking about your appointment during Fayemi's regime, I know it came with a lot of controversies from some student union leaders who were like, Luther is not going to fight for us anymore now, blah, blah, blah. He's now joining the politicians, because we know how politics was so heated then during those era of Fayemi and Fayoshe. So I just wanted to touch on your appointment as the student union, as this essay student affair to Dr. Kayode Fayemi. How did that even come about? Were you close to him? Did they see your activism while you were on campus? When you heard that you were being considered for this appointment, what was going through your mind? How did that come about? Just take us back to those periods.
Femi, I am putting together my biography.
Okay.
And let me say my memoir. Let me not say biography, because when you say you are writing biography,
they think that
you are very old and you're about to die.
Yeah.
I'm putting my memoirs together, and the process of my appointment will be discussed in details. However, when I was to be appointed, there are a lot of interest. People wanted to be. I was not the only person that was shortlisted. There are politics and intrigues and that.
Yeah.
And when I was appointed, the statement I issued, my first statement was that this appointment will be it will be what did I use the word? I said it's going to be something about my life. I think I used the word like it is an appointment for my life. I've forgotten now, because I said that whatever I do
Mm.
as an essay is not only for me. It will determine whether younger persons will be involved in politics anymore or not. I was very young. I was in my 20s when I was appointed.
Yeah, I can
And
remember. Yeah.
and not that alone. I was the youngest in the whole of the government. I was the youngest appointee in Nigeria.
Mm.
And when I was appointed, some people said that, what has wrong with Dr. Fayemi for appointing this small boy? This very small boy to politics. That SC, special assistant, is a very big office. I mean, so it used to be a very big office.
Then it used to be.
So it is a very big office. And I remember then that, with due respect to my boss, whom I worked with when I was a journalist, I used to be a journalist, you should know, he was also a special assistant.
Sure.
Then I don't want to mention him now. He was also a special assistant that was working in his office, and when I was like, I was also
SASC.
So we're SASC, and this is a man I respect and revere so much.
That was when essays was still very respectable.
It was like when you are appointed as special advisor now.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's just like that. And I tried everything possible not to impress, but to be who I am. And like, I've mentioned about some of the things we did. And do you know the joy I have? That after I left office, the office of special assistant for my office as special assistant on student youth engagement was upgraded to senior special assistant.
Yeah.
Because the handover report, the roles I played justified that it was very enormous. It was a very enormous task that I did. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that if I was still in government, it would have been an upgrade. Until now, the person occupying that post today, the young lady occupying that post today, who also happens to be one of my mentees as well, she's also doing fantastic and she's doing very well. She's also an SSA. She's also very young. I'm not sure. I don't know her age, but I know she's also very, very young. Very young. And she's not, and also it's not just the office of the SC on students and youth that occupies young people. We've got SC on digital media, SC on public affairs in Oyebanji's government, Governor Oyebanji's government. I can count, if I'm not mistaken, I count about 20 young persons who are special assistants.
A lot of young people in this government. Yeah.
So if I messed the whole process up, then I'm sure that people will not consider young people, government will not consider young people anymore. While the governor that took over after my principal was not a member of our party, the APC then, he appointed a young person to take over that office as a personal assistant on youth and students. My very good friend who occupied that position then. So it's I just want to say that it's not about impressing anyone. It's about just being you. And like I said, everything that we did then in my office, I had a lot of young persons. I stood up for the young people. I ensured that politically victimized student leaders were brought back. They had their degrees, their certificates. And the student unions that are prescribed had their elections done before we left office. Bursaries were paid. Issues of scrutiny were addressed. Issues of handouts instead of textbooks were stopped. Students were taken off for exchange programs. Some went for book festivals. We had a very good engagement, and a lot of policies were implemented by my principal through my office that I suggested to him. And not only that, I also learned a lot. That because it was a growing phase for me and really helped me grow in leadership.
Sure. I mean, when is your memoir coming out? Now that you don't want to give us the gist from
very soon
came about. Okay, we'll be looking forward to that. I just wanted to say, like, when you were talking about your position as SC during those days, those era were those times when politics were, especially in Ekiti State, was very, I would say, heated. People were so much invested in politics. They always want to know who is this person, who is appointed, what is his background. It was just so serious that, And now we have a lot of young people in government. We have a lot of essays. I know a lot of my colleagues that we were even classmates that are essays now in this current government. So, which is a good thing. I just wanted to say, which it leads us to our next question, which is, what do you think about the politics of in Ekiti State right now compared to those days of Fayemi and Fayoshe? And when I'm asking, I mean those era when election used to be like war, and Ekiti State is always in the news for this and that nationally. I don't think we have that anymore in Ekiti State now. What do you think is going on in Ekiti State politics that has made us to like move away from those era of, politics that looks like war? Now it looks like everything is friendship between even all political parties in Ekiti State. What do you think has really changed politically in Ekiti State compared to those eras?
Okay, thank you, Femi, for that question that you just asked about what has really changed. Politics has been defined by last well as who gets what, when, and how. So the who, the principal, the dramatist personnel, the who involved in the game or in the process has a lot of roles to play. So the who here, and you can take the who and the party interchangeably here. I mean the APC, the governor, the incumbent governor. And the incumbent governor did not become governor by accident. He became governor by endorsement, recommendation of his principal, whom he served, definitely Dr. Kayode Fayemi, who was the former governor, who recommended his successor to the people, and they wholeheartedly accepted his candidature and loved him, and they still love him, to be sincere. And the party too provided that fresh of breath, air, and hope for the people. So let me now say this, that much as the political party is a vehicle for a candidate to become what he or she wants to become, in local politics, like gubernatorial election, there's a place of who is the person that is flagging the flag, that is the flag bearer of the party at time. The people of Ekiti, the major actors in Ekiti, they have queued behind the incumbent governor. The former governors and their structures, they've queued behind them. The National Assembly members, they've publicly endorsed them. All things being equal, like, politics, they say 24 hours is a very long time. All things being equal, they've queued behind them. The Lobas, the traditional council of Obas, Ekiti State Council of Obas, traditional council of Obas, and chiefs, they have queued behind them. The civil servants queued behind them. The youth and the women have queued behind them. So it means that he is loved by the people. It does not mean that other persons are not loved. All right.
Okay.
But it will be a great error for the APC at the national not to give the governor the privilege of involving in a fairly contested primary elections to determine whether we flag the ticket or not. That is number one. Number two, if the love, which they say does not win elections, anyways, if the love of the people of Ekiti for the governor is being thrown away on the altar of any principality and power in Abuja or Lagos, and they said we are choosing another person to go to Ekiti to go, and whether by virtue of whatever politics. I don't want
Yeah.
to use by virtue of politics,
Yeah.
and the governor is out of the game, out of the scheme for the
Mm.
next election. Femi, I put it to you that the APC might lose the Ekiti election
Mm.
because the love for the governor is massive.
Yeah.
And you ask me why? Politicians need three things. They want respect, they want regards, and they want reward.
Mm.
The three things that I've just mentioned are what the governor has been able to play very well with the political actors and the people of Ekiti State. I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm not in particularly talking about his projects, or
His
I'm not saying that
performance
he
and
has
all.
done this or performed well or that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Mm.
that because I'm not on ground to assess the level of his performance. Get
Yeah.
me clear. But all over the world, democracy
Mm.
is aimed on the people.
Yeah.
And elections is won by sentiments,
Mm.
not by what you have done.
Sure. Sure.
Get this word again. Elections are won by sentiments and perceptions,
Sure.
not based on what you have done in Nigeria, even all over the world.
Even all over the world, yeah.
When people say that they like you, they like you.
Yep.
You need just a little to get to win. If they say they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, they don't like you.
Mm.
So this perception and this sentiment has a lot of things to, that's a long role, a long influence on your victory.
Mm.
So if the PDP bloc led by Fayose, Governor Fayose of very high respect or high regards that I have for him, had supported him. If Otunbani Adebayo, His Excellency CON, had supported him. If Dr. Fayemi and his political family are behind the governor. If Alatarodo ni Palaga, in the language of Ushoko himself, are all keen behind the governor, and you say that you want to use one politics to get the party will lose. Wherever the governor goes to, we win.
Sure. That's what I wanted to even say. Like, with all the support that the governor has and how he is able to unite all the political leaders or the political actors in Ekiti State, one would be surprised to hear that he might not have this total support of his own party nationally, to the extent where there might be someone who is being projected to, contest against him or even be imposed on the people of Ekiti State. What do you think is going on here? And
well, Femi,
experience this.
Femi, let me say that there is nowhere the presidency or the national leadership of the party has said they are bringing anybody.
Of course.
Okay. And in politics, there is a need for signal.
Mm.
Everybody receives signal. Where you receive your own signal is different.
Mm.
If your own signal is from Ishon Temple, if your signal is from Ishon Temple, receive clear signal.
Mm-hmm.
If your signal is from Temple, receive clear signal. If your signal is from Bodilon, receive clear signal. Okay. So, and if the signal from, I'm just like you said, it's unfiltered. That's why I'm saying this.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So, and if you are receiving your own signal from the villa, ensure your signal is very clear enough.
Yeah.
Because there's what they call interference in radio frequency. If your signal from Abuja is not as strong as the signal in Ekiti, that your signal is going to become a noise.
Yeah.
And nobody will hear what you are saying. So if I'm talking electronics now, I'm talking. So if you want to base your, what is it called, your election, your victory on signal, ensure that you have a large number of following within the party than there's a signal from Abuja, or there's a signal from Ishon, or there's a signal from me. All right? Let me revise back to the last presidential election. Everybody were expecting President Buhari, to announce the successor.
Yeah.
We're waiting for signal.
Sure.
In fact, it was front page of the newspapers that Buhari will announce a successor, Buhari will announce a successor, will announce a successor.
Even to the last day.
Do you know that if Buhari had announced a successor, the successor might eventually win? At that time, in the early days, because the structures will kill behind the interest of the president. But because he did not, and by the time it was to announce the person that he wanted to announce through the chairman of the party, the person of His Excellency, I think
I've forgotten.
I forgot. I think it's Ganduje. I think it was.
Was it Ganduje? I don't think it wasn't Ganduje. Yeah.
Who announced that the person they wanted was it's not Ganduje. I've forgotten his name.
Ganduje, yeah. I think it's not the current chairman.
No, it's not Ganduje. I forgot. I can see the face of
It wasn't Ganduje, yeah, I know.
I can see the face of the old man. I've forgotten his name. When he announced that they were going to support Ahmed Lawan, it was a noise. It was a noise. It was not connecting. The name was not connecting with what was on ground. You get. So that's why I said that you have to be clear about the signal you are receiving. And whether you like the face of the political actors in Ekiti or not, as a politician of note from Abuja, you have to be sure that the decision, the baby you want to throw away, you are not going to throw it away with the bathwater. Because as it is now, I'm not trying to take side, but I've done an independent survey, an assessment of, in my personal position, I'm not speaking on behalf of the new Broom Movement. For the new Broom Movement, we have resolved that we are going to support the candidate of the party. All right? And while we have that understanding that we're supporting the candidate of the party, we also want the party to grant everybody who is aspiring the right of fair and free contest.
Sure.
So, but if that is not done, and there's a scheme, a politics to take off the governor away from the scheme of things because of suspicion of his loyalty to his SY principal or other principals that he has served, it is going to be at the detriment of the national party. And let me tell you the danger here now, why it is very, very, it's a difficult terrain to just navigate anyhow. The last presidential election, Asiwaju's best votes, best performances, his best shot,
percentage-wise,
came from percentage-wise, came from Southwest, where he had, I think, 56.04%.
Yeah.
56.04% was he had in Southwest. He lost 3 states. He won 3 states. He won Ekiti.
Yep.
He won
Ondo, yeah.
And I think he won Ogun. Was it Ogun or Oyo?
It was Ogun.
Ogun, the 3 states.
He lost Oyo and Lagos.
He lost Oyo. He lost Osun. He lost Lagos.
Osun and Lagos, yeah.
He lost 3 states. Yeah. Now, meaning that all things being equal, when Tinubu Jagaban was Jagaban, when APC was a united front, he won Ekiti. And Ekiti was the state where he had the highest percentage.
Sure. And the first result.
The first result. In fact, people were even abusing Ekiti people on Twitter. Why did he go to Agbado?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so if the Abuja bloc now felt that we can overrun the state, it means that Ekiti, the governor, if whether they support the governor or not, I'm sorry, I don't want to be very rude, whether the national supports the governor or not, at this stage of what the people are saying in Ekiti, the governor will win.
That's even what I wanted to say, because I feel like...
And if he did not win, probably the federal might collapse and attack and crush the governor. If he did not win. The chances that the person that wins, or the party that wins, or the group that wins, or the caucus that wins, will be able to sustain that tempo till 2027.
To now deliver the state for the president.
Because you don't, when you are preparing for war, you don't fight your generals. You have to make peace with your generals, even when they are messing up. You have to make peace with the generals. So when you fight your generals and when you destroy your own base, it's going to wait for you in front. So if Oshun, the politics is going on in Oshun for Oshun to deliver, and well, good, but maybe when we get to when we talk about national politics, I'll be able to say something that my own personal assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not saying that Oyebanji cannot be defeated in a free and fair contest.
But there should be a free and fair contest.
But let it be free and fair. Let it not be this impression that there is a signal from Abuja that will send this person away. When that signal, when that is done, the people will resist. The people can resist. They will resist the presidency, and it will be messy. So if anybody contesting against Oyebanji believes he can win Oyebanji, let the party organize a free and fair contest. If he lose at that stage, fine. Everybody, somebody like my group, for instance, and other groups, we know that he has lost, so we have to support our party. But if because of we don't trust him, we don't have all these beer parlor analysis of we don't trust him, he's loyal to this. Lagbaja is doing Abuja politics, he's not doing Tinubu in Ekiti, he's doing something else. Because of that rumor or that beer parlor analysis, my brother, is going to be a bomb for the APC in 2027.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of politics right there too that we've spoken about already. And I believe that, the politics, the main political plays will still unfold. We'll still see more, more of these things, even clearer in the coming days or months.
Now, let me tell you something. Do you know that all the federal bloc, all the power bloc at the national, the last presidential election, the obedient group, the what's his name? The president, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo group, the the Alhaji Kwankwaso group, all the groups in the last presidential election, do you know they are working for Oyebanji at the moment in Ekiti? The former special advisor political, Senator Femi Oguntayo is one of the major players for Oyebanji's re-election.
I mean, there's
no doubt players for.
There's no doubt they not ask the support of.
So if he's going to be defeated, let him be defeated free and fair, not by virtue of his signal. Nobody cannot be defeated, but let the election be so clear that people will know that he was defeated. Not like we have said that there's a rumor of any rumor now is going to, it's like taking a pump action or AK-47, putting it in your stomach and blow yourself up, or putting in your head and blow yourself up. That's the
way. Sure. I mean, that's I guess we'll see in the coming months how those things will play out in the Ekiti State. I believe for sure that Oyebanji will have a smooth ride. That's what I believe. Even though with all these rumors, BFL analysis, I believe he's going to be our next governor, our governor in the next administration too. So, but like I said, we'll see, and all this will play out in the coming months. And just to finalize this discussion, because I know you have to go and sleep, because I know it's late right now. This your movement, the new Broom Movement. What should we expect from the movement moving forward in this political atmosphere and in the next election in Ekiti, for example? What should we expect from your movement, the new Broom? What are the activities of the movement as it relates to Ekiti State's gubernatorial election? coming next year, or if there isn't going to be any activity, what should we expect from the movement moving forward?
Oh, we started now. I told you we started our activities, and within the last 4 weeks, we have registered over 1,000 people into the movement, with the understanding that they are joining the party.
Okay.
All right, joining the APC, and not only that, we have a mandate, we have a target of registering, of reaching out to over minimum of 25,000 young people. I'm not calling numbers for calling numbers sake. I'm calling numbers with data. I love data-driven, data-informed policies, data-informed politics.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we have that number, we'll engage the political space.
Egbon, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. We've spoken for almost 2 hours now. So, but really appreciate it. I still have some questions, but I would not want to drag this interview more than it is already. We've spoken a lot already. We've spoken a lot. Like I said, thank you so much for joining. We're looking forward to more activities from the New Broom Movement.
If you want to check the website, what you've done so far, the website is www.thenewbroom.org.ng. And if you want to join us, you can just we have the QR code, which will be made available on the screen. Yeah. But you can also join by checking the link tinyurl.com/
link is going to be in the description below.
Yeah, it's also there. So / new Broom form. So it's also going to be there so that you can also check it out there and join us. We've got massive following. I'm saying this, and like I said, in few months time, we'll hit the number we were working towards. Working towards minimum of 25,000. Between 25,000 naira, 1,000 people. I said naira. 25,000 people to be involved in this movement. Young people, professionals, and we're also providing empowerment program for our members. So it's not just joining for politics, because we also have a data of the people who are employed and people who are not employed. People want to learn some skills. We are training them. We are providing that training platform because we want people who are not working to start working. And currently we are developing a financial model to support our members, their businesses. And we'll be sponsoring our members for elective positions. Also, and these are young people. These are fantastic people who are in their professionals majorly. Elites.
Under the Progressive Congress, APC.
Yeah, under the platform of the All Progressives Congress, our party.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We've been talking to Mr. Adeolu Oyebode. All those well. Thank you so much for joining. We hope next time we'll call you. You'll be willing to join us like this. With that, we want to wrap up and let's say thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Femi. Anytime I'm available. And I also want to encourage you. I want to encourage you for this wonderful job you're doing with the podcast.
Thank you.
Please keep it up, and we need you in the Broom movement. We need you so much.
No problem.
We having a very large following now from Ekiti people in diaspora.
Yeah.
We've got very good numbers in hundreds who are already signed up.
Yeah.
And you know that it's important because we've seen very good developmental programs and projects in the diaspora that we can, it's not rocket science, that we can implement at home.
Yeah, definitely.
So we have the local content, we have the exposure that we don't have before. We've got it now. And so there's nothing that says that we cannot. Awolowo and his likes, they had this same plan, come to the West, get these ideas, get it back
and
home.
They implemented it. Yeah.
So please, I would want you to join us. Other
Sure,
people
sure.
are joining. We have hundreds of people
I'm
already
all,
in
I'm
the
all for
diaspora
anything
wing
good.
of the
I'm
new
all
Broom.
yeah, thank you for the invitation. I'm all
Mm.
for anything good for the development of Ekiti
And
State
the
and
new
all that.
Broom, I know, like I said, the new Broom sweeps better.
Sure.
You use the new Broom to sweep your new room.
Of course, of
Anytime
course.
just use it to sweep your room.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much. It's a great initiative, and thank you so much for joining once again.
You're welcome, Femi.
Okay, thank you so much for watching to this episode. Like I said earlier, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification button so that when next we drop a video, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, share to your friends and family, and let them also learn from this. And till the next time when we see again, I say bye for now.